1 seed in the NFC.
Boy, it's been fun to watch this, and it's not necessarily surprising that Mike McDonald's been able to put his stamp on this franchise, but just in his second year, have a great defense, did a great job of bringing in Clint Kubiak to give them more of a physical presence as an offense. Under center now with Sam Darnold, getting downhill to set Darnold up with play action. But let's face it, these big games like this, it's going to be won at the line of scrimmage, and both these teams pride themselves on being tough. We'll find out who's tougher tonight.
Pretty terrific way to start week 16 of the season. It's the Rams, it's the Seahawks from Seattle on Thursday Night Football.
Thursday Night Kickoff was presented by Subway. Join the new Sub Club and get every 4th foot long free.
Introducing Subway's new Sub Club. Now members get every 4th foot long free.
4 foot long's free. Fix my fibula later.
Don't worry. I didn't say anything important.
Protect the fabric sale, Francine.
Join Sub.
What's up, everybody? We are here now. Pretty decent football game tonight, I would say. We got Ducky here. Teddy's down there. He'll make an appearance. Ducky started barking as soon as I went live, so he wanted to say hello first.
You only get one shot.
This is a football of the 80s.
He was the best in the game, and I was trying to be.
Oh, you can hear the video feed too? Man. Copyright incoming. I thought I had turned that off. Ah, that's where I went wrong. All right. That should be better. Yeah, seriously, if this video gets copywritten already, I'm gonna be quite upset. Although it always blows my mind that people come back and watch after the fact when we're not live. The real ones are watching game reactions without the game the next day. So how's everybody doing? Who are we picking tonight? This one's really hard. I think the Seahawks defense at home should play pretty damn well. No Devontae's huge, obviously. He's such a problem solver for the Rams offense. Not that the Seahawks run a lot of man coverage. Devontae's kind of the Rams man cover answer. Big reason they're better against man this year than last year. The Seahawks offense has struggled as of late. Offensive line issues starting to rack up, and that's, I didn't even realize Charles Cross wasn't going to play because I didn't even realize he was hurt. That's just colossal. I picked the Seahawks on Patreon just on a gut feeling, but I think that swings it because Jared Verse against a backup tackle is bad news bears, especially with Darnold, who's been racking up the turnover-worthy plays. So it definitely, that one, I think it already leaned Rams slightly, but that one might give it a heavier lean towards the Rams. But at the same time, my gut feeling is also Seahawks tonight. I think that home crowd is going to play a factor. I think the Seahawks defense can be an X factor, and I know the conditions are a little bit better than they were expecting, but if it is windy as the night goes on, special teams, and the Seahawks special teams has been elite this year. So this is exciting, man. This is a hell of a football game. I'm really excited to be live for this one with you guys. So thanks for joining live here. I do want to get a quick promo tweet out on the Twitter so that we can get as many people in here as possible. So just give me 1 second there. I'm going to throw an ad at you guys while I type my promo tweet here. There we go. So the chat is saying it's pretty split, honestly. It's actually very split. Maybe a slight lean towards Seattle. Seattle is favored tonight, which is interesting. Someone is asking if Jared Verse is having a big year again. I think Jared Verse has been awesome. I think he's been as good as he was in that rookie season. He is a guy that like the sack numbers aren't necessarily gonna be super high with him because he's more of like he's just gonna take his tackle for a ride, flush the quarterback out of the pocket, and then everyone else can clean up. But I think he still has probably him or Will Anderson are the candidates for the best bull rush in the NFL right now. Yes, JC, thank you for becoming a TFG booster channel member. Much appreciated. It is a good way to support the channel, very good way. And starting in January, you will get Studs and Duds access as a channel member as well. I do have this thing. I just need to adjust it a little bit once it comes back. So a nice start. Kyron Williams, good run. They're going to need the run game, I think. Both sides, honestly. The run game is going to be huge in this game because I think both quarterbacks are going to be under duress, both from especially from a pass rushing perspective for Darnold, and the Seahawks defense just puts you under duress, generally speaking. Great run defense, get you into 3rd and longs, pass rush coverage, such a complete defense. All right, so here's 3rd and 1. Let's adjust this. There we go. All right, we got 13 personnel, the Rams Classic this year. Oh, a little RPO and off the mark. Try to get a little cute on that one. Stafford saw the linebacker slide right before the play. It was there. You just got to hit on that. Is McVay thinking about going for it here? Wow. I guess they are at the 40 after the kick return. So it's less crazy. There's the run. Yeah, you got it. Easy. All right. I like the aggressiveness, the confidence. We're going into Seattle. We're not going to go 3 and out. Let this crowd get going. That's a big play, but every time a coach lines up for it in that situation, you're like, oh, I don't know, Jim. But that's the modern NFL. And now we got another good first down run. I mean, if they're getting 8 yards a pop on first down from Kyron Williams all night, the Rams are going to dictate this game all night. Matt was asking, does Green Bay miss the playoffs? I still don't think they do, but they are definitely, it's not a lock, right? I mean, I think they beat Minnesota week 18. We got 2nd and 3, another good run for Kyron Williams. I think they can still beat Minnesota week 18 and probably split the next 2 weeks against Chicago and Baltimore. And they should be just fine if they can do that. If they lose 2 out of 3, you're in trouble. Yeah, Game and Kirby, if you can't get 1 yard, you don't deserve to win anyway. Yeah, I mean, dominating the line of scrimmage is always super important. I was just saying how important it is in this specific matchup. I agree. If you can't get it then, you're going to be in for a long night tonight. Stafford is absolutely my MVP. I don't even think it's close right now with anybody else, with all due respect to Drake May. All right, Ducky, I'm going to set you down so you can go back to sleep. Another good cutback from Kyron. I mean, Seattle's not going to have a good time tonight if this is what tonight's going to look like for them. It's funny, the broadcasters just said this is going to be a line of scrimmage game. We're seeing that play out. And that's definitely a juggernaut matchup. Rams O-line, Seahawks defensive line, a couple of deep, healthy units. Here's 3rd and 4. Quick out. Ferguson gets popped. That's going to be short, so we're going to get another 4th and inches here, I think. By the way, I never did my kill-a-pitch shot. I don't know if we have any... Gosh, this is why I need to get the dogs out here, because Ducky barks at everything. Hey! We'll address the kill-a-pitch situation after this big 4th and inches. More 13 personnel. Wide zone. Kyron, oh, that's going to be so close. The top-down angle did not look like he got it. Ducky, knock it off. It's going to take a minute to review, I think. But to any German viewers, I know it's probably 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in Germany. Ducky, my goodness, stop it. But my dad goes to Germany a couple times a year for business, and in Dusseldorf, and always brings back for me a bottle of Kill-a-Pitch, which I haven't met anybody here that knows of this, but it's like good Jaeger. It's awesome. As a shot, you can put it on ice. All right, they're short. I thought he was short. And we're taking it. Big tackle by Josh Jobe there, by the way. My stream is behind the live stream. I think I'm live. I think I'm live, brother. It's the YouTube. You see it. There's nothing I can do about it. YouTube has, I think, like a 20-second delay. Oh my God. All right, I'm kicking Ducky out. Dude, you're done. You're done. You're out of here. Go. He gone. I don't know that Josh Jobe doesn't like tackling. I've never had any concerns about Josh Jobe's physicality. He's, you might be thinking of Tariq Woolen. Tariq Woolen has been questioned for his tackling quite a lot. That's probably who you're thinking of. All right, but to a good football game and the best fans in the world. And with this shot glass, go Twins. We got a free agent, guys. The Twins fire sale is over. We signed a free agent. Josh Bell. I can't wait for all the Drake and Josh memes. Cheers. And then, of course, we will be We will keep pounding some water tonight. If Stafford wins MVP, is he a lock for the Hall of Fame? Yes. I think he's already a lock in my mind. But if he wins MVP, yes. And that's a big reason why we should just... I mean, if it were a tiebreaker, give it to the 38-year-old QB that deserves it at this point. But he's also the easy choice to me. To Kamani Vidal. That's right. All right, Seahawks, let's see what you're made of. That was a huge defensive stop. Oh. Darnold had JSN coming open on the rollout. Oh, I have a lot of Panthers stuff, Brandon. I have the Tervis cup. I've got the sombrero that I got in Mexico. I have 2 shirts. The Christmas podcast. Yeah, It's been a busy week. I've been watching some college stuff. We're going down to Chicago to celebrate Christmas with Anna's family. We got a big screen here. My goodness. Oh my God, he's gonna go to the 5. Holy. The Rams were not ready for that one. Wow. All right, what the hell happened there? It's just base defense, cover 3. Oh, it's the play action screen throwback. This is one of my favorite plays. And there's actually some lore to this. Personal lore. I don't know if it's lore, if it's all inside my head, but I noticed this watching Packers games. Let's see if they get in on this little pop pass. No. But I've always thought like Packers games and like Kyle Shanahan offenses, the wide zone. So oftentimes on these play action boots, I just kept seeing like, man, after they fake that handoff, there is nobody over there by the running back and all these blockers that have just carried out the play fake. And I noticed it specifically like 3 times. I think it was like 2022 with the Packers. And I was like, why don't they just do a throwback screen off the play action? And then LaFleur called one like 3 weeks later after I've been waiting to see an NFL play caller do it for years. And now it's all around the league. But I'm not going to say Matt LaFleur was the first to call the throwback screen, but it was certainly the first time I noticed it. But obviously that touchdown was essentially all that one play call. The throwback screen set up by the 4th down stop. Great start for Seattle. Just a good, tough run up the middle by Charbonnet. All right. So far, I'm glad I ended up picking Seattle to win this game. Thoughts on these jerseys? They just look like Oregon Ducks jerseys to me, which is fine. But I don't know. I don't know how original it is at this point. But they look cool. I have no complaints. I have not watched Dante Moore yet, Matthew. I'm terrified of watching prospects and then them going back to school. So I refuse to watch prospects unless it's a guarantee that they are coming out, whether they've said they're coming out or any of that. especially a quarterback, because that's almost like a full day process to do a quarterback eval. So if I committed a whole day to that and then he goes back to school and then I have to learn a whole nother year of tape on the guy, just not exactly something I want to set myself up for. So even all the way down to, like, I've been waiting on Ty Simpson. I haven't watched him yet either because, you know, I don't know what his situation's going to be. Although does he have to come out, Simpson? I know he's a 1-year starter. But is he a redshirt senior? I honestly don't know. My opinion on Bionicle? How did you know? I love Bionicles. I used to be a big fan of Bionicles back in the day. So I have watched 3 players at this point. Fernando Mendoza. I have watched Carnell Tate, and I have watched Jordan Tyson. So those write-ups will obviously all be available on Patreon. But quick general thoughts. Mendoza, I've done Penn State and Oregon. And by the way, also on Patreon, I did full film watch-alongs on my Patreon. So if you guys want to sit down and enjoy some Fernando Mendoza tape with me and see kind of why I have the thoughts on what I'm about to say here, I'm just going to grab this link real quick for a little shameless plug while the game's in commercial break. But let's see. I don't know why this isn't... This should work. Now my whole browser's frozen. Oh, it's because it was editing a post. All right, Rams, let's see if you can answer. All right, here we go. Spam, 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 spam. We can come back to those draft conversations at the next commercial break. We got Rams taking the ball. Nice little play action boot. Shout out Proxy Grunt if you're here in one of our Patreon Dynasty Leagues. I'm playing Proxy in the semifinal, and I need Kyron Williams to go off. And there goes Blake Corum. Corum's been nice, man. Nice second year for... Okay, I take that back. I'm playing Proxy in our redraft league. And then I'm playing Atanen in the Dynasty League. And he has Jackson Smith and Jigba, and I have Matthew Stafford. So, big matchup here. Ooh, that was a good throw. Floated it over. Looked like Boye Mafe dropping into the curl flat. So I was thinking lower scoring in this game, but that was especially with the weather forecast was supposed to be rainy and windy. It actually looks like pretty good conditions, which I am happy about. I didn't want to come out of this game and have to kind of like nitpick. Yeah, but you know, this throw sailed out of bounds or this field goal missed because of the wind. To me, these are the two best teams in football. I want to get a fair, honest evaluation at these guys, and I think good conditions is a win for all of us. Although from an entertainment standpoint, gotta love a good poor conditions game. Does Seattle extend Kenneth Walker? I think so. I think he brings something that is hard to find with the explosiveness. Obviously, teams are looking for that with your Travion Hendersons and all that. I think him and Charbonnet make so much sense as a duo. If they ever get consistent run blocking, those guys could be really dangerous. That was a painful drop by Davis Allen there. How do you drop that? Went right through your arms into the chest. I'm not the biggest fan of Kenneth Walker, but I don't think he's going to be that expensive because the injury record and his vision is so bad. I think if you get him for 3 years, $25 million, I think you do that if you're Seattle. Ooh, we got a little... I don't know about throwing... That's where they missed Devontae Adams right there. You're throwing a slot fade. Is that Mumfield or 15? I saw a quote. They were like, that Kanata Mumfield reminds us of Devontae Adams. And it's like, I get what you're saying. You know, he's a nuance-based wide receiver because he has no traits at all. Devontae at least has some traits. Kanata Mumfield to me was like, man, undersized and slow, not ideal. Oh, what a strong catch, dude. That's a huge area of growth for Puka is the ball skills this year. They were offsides anyway. But it's not that Puka's ever had bad ball skills, but he's had a lot of drops. And like if I pull up his contested catch win rate over the years, I actually haven't looked at this. I'm just going off of the film this year because it feels like he's so much better in that category. Oh my God. Yeah. Dude, he's coming down with 77% of his contested catch targets this year. I can't stress how... I mean, that's a type of stat we're going to have to look up at the end of the year. Like, over a certain amount of targets, I don't know if anybody's ever had 77%. He's at 31 contested catch targets. That's going to be another one right there at 77%. I don't know that I've ever seen north of 75% with more than 30 contested catch targets. That's unbelievable. There's Mumfield after I was just talking trash. Not that he really had to do much on that play, but compared to last year, Puka was at 35%. And the year before that, he was at 50%. So the tape matched the analytics on that one. Puka in those have to have it ball winning situations this year has just been unbelievable. All right, is this going to turn into a little bit of an offensive fest here? I'm down. Boo, Blake Corum, boo. I mean, I like you. But tonight, fantasy playoffs, I need Kyron. I need those 3-yard Kyron Williams rushing touchdowns. I need one. I need one here. Blake Corum's still in there. We got, oh my God, why can't I think of my guy out of Texas? The wide receiver, number 88. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. Maybe it's the kill-a-pitch shot. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe it's both. We'll never know. I'm sure you guys will let me know in the chat, though, who the hell I'm trying to think of. His name. Oh, a little Little slant. That's another contested catch win for Puka, I think. He's going to be a little bit short. Come on, Kyron Williams. Goal line guru. Put him in. Get her done. Yes, Jordan Whittington is the receiver we're thinking of. Thank you, guys. The Rams version of Jawan Jennings. Alaric Jackson just got hurt. That would be big. Oh yeah, Puka did hit his head hard on the turf. Man, I hate to even go there, but every week I feel like you're holding your breath with Puka. The dude plays so physical. He just throws his body around. Like I hate to even like say it because it's never the fun thing to say, but I would be if I'm the Rams. Like I'm a little worried like giving Puka because he's going to have to earn. I mean, he's going to get 4-year, $140 million contract. Like, you're probably paying him $43 million a year. Like, I would be holding my breath a little bit if I were the Rams giving him that, just because I do worry about the long-term durability with him. You have to do it, I think. You have to just take that risk. But I definitely wouldn't feel super confident. Good question, Brian, about Patreon prices and if I'm going to do a New Year's discount. It's a good thought. I haven't thought about doing a kind of like a Patreon promo. I'll have to look in to seeing if they have anything like that. But I definitely would consider if they have it, offering a New Year's discount. I think it's a great idea. I'm sure they have something like that. So I'm going to write it down so that I don't forget. But as far as the pricing goes, I have 3 tiers. My lowest tier has been $1 a month, but with inflation and all of that, I'm probably going to bump the bottom tier up to $2.50 a month. I saw they just stopped penny production, by the way. It's interesting. But I'm going to make the lowest tier $2.50 a month, and that's the tier that will allow for access to my Studs and Duds series that is moving to Patreon. That gets you also access to the mailbag, because you can DM me there on Patreon. Oh, that was actually Kevin Dotson that got hurt, not Alaric Jackson. Just as big. All right, let's see what happens here on 4th down. Oh, pass. Caught. There is a penalty. Great catch by Terrence Ferguson. TFG Patreon got hit with the tariffs. Oh, man. That's so funny. So, this is going to be a legal formation or pass interference? What's the penalty? Ineligible downfield. By number 67. That's actually very funny because I saw the DB going like this. And then the ineligible downfield was number 67. The kids are going to like that play. But anyway, the rest of my Patreon. Also, shout out Thicker Kicker, Harrison Mevis. One of my underdog lineups. I had him going tonight. Or Mevis, rather. But no, the second tier gets you access to my draft guide with all my draft write-ups and all that good stuff. That's the $5 tier. That's the core benefit of that tier. And then my $10 a month tier gets access to all my exclusive films, all my exclusive videos. So that's the weekly predictions and Vegas picks video. That's my film room videos, like the Fernando Mendoza film rooms I have up there right now. that's going to be any upcoming film rooms, all that stuff. So those are kind of the tier splits. But if anybody wants to check out the Patreon, I can post that link one more time. It's also in the description down below. But we were talking about some of these college prospects, and then we stopped because we got distracted by the football game that we're here to talk about. But yeah, I've watched 3 prospects. Mendoza, man, we're back from the commercial break already. Mendoza, I don't want to make any final statements on him because I thought about just getting the whole eval done this week, but I want to watch the playoffs and see what happens there. I think those games matter. But I've done the Oregon game and the Penn State game, and I'm not going to lie. If I were just giving a grade off of those 2 games alone, I would not have a first-round grade on Mendoza. For a pocket passing style quarterback, I think the ball placement is actually highly questionable. The pocket presence is concerning. I see a guy that bails out of a lot of clean pockets from those 2 games. Some bad interceptions. I mean, the Oregon one was ball placement, just not very good. I think the offense is pretty simple. I think he makes a couple of NFL throws really well, like the back shoulders, the slot fades and deep outs. It's not that he stinks, but like again, if I was only given those games and they then say give a final grade off of these 2, I don't think I would have him with a higher grade than I had last year on Shadur, on Dart, or Shuck. Those guys were all late first, early second round grades. I would have probably more of a true day 2 grade right now for Mendoza, but can absolutely change. I don't want you to hold me to that because I have only done 2 games. There's a Charbonnet run. And I did see the Ohio State game live. I'm going to revisit that one, all 22. But that game obviously was impressive. Yeah, Kirk Cousins is going to be a very common comp for Mendoza, especially because of his personality. I think that's probably the highest selling point on Mendoza is the football character, the competitiveness, kind of betting on a guy that's going to be a grinder in the film room and get better and better as the year goes on. I think that's important. Okay, we got 3rd and 1 here. Ooh, we got a little early movement. I don't think there's a flag. Oh, good play by Emmanuel Forbes. Able to break it up, targeting JSN there. What a polarizing year for Emmanuel Forbes. That's where that length comes in handy, man. I don't think it was a bad ball. Not a bad ball. You want to throw that out and away. Can't really blame JSN for it. Just Emmanuel Forbes just makes a good play on it. Credit him. Interesting. So the exact same spot where the Rams decided to go for it early, Mike McDonald punts. Who's the Jets quarterback next year? I know he's not a free agent. I really like the idea of Davis Mills or Eagles. Oh my gosh. Stanford. 6'6". Why can't I think of his freaking name? Oh my God. All right, I'm pulling it up. Tanner McKee. That's my thing. I've shifted so much more towards like go after the guys that have been developing in the NFL for a couple of years than a guy like Mendoza, who's a pocket passer that's still probably going to have to learn. Again, Mendoza eval's not finished yet. But I don't know. I just think we're in this world where it's those guys that interest me as prospects. Tanner McKee, Davis Mills, Malik Willis. Guys in that category. Like, obviously, you've got your high-end quarterback prospects that you take early. And maybe Mendoza ends up that guy, but I think there's so much value in giving guys like that an opportunity and just seeing what happens. Favorite Kyler destinations? Raiders seems like a overall fit. I was thinking Saints for a little bit, but then our guy Shuck took that job and ran with it. Is round one running back worth it for KC? I think if Jeremiah Love, if he's there, sure. Outside of, a genuine, like, blue chip talent like that, I think. Oh, what a throw. Is Puka going to go? Jeez. God, this Rams offense is just so efficient, dude. What's up, Grim? Yeah, we got to play some Overwatch soon, dude. Although I've been enjoying Arc Raiders in the little free time I have. But yeah, if on the Kansas City question, they do need a running back, but the thing about running backs, you don't have to spend a first rounder on it, right? That's the big problem with Kansas City. Is not only have they not spent the first rounder, but they haven't taken, a Caleb Johnson, a Cam Scattaboo. There's great running backs to be found in the second, third, fourth round, even like a Byshell Tootin. They've just ignored it entirely. So I think Kansas City rarely gets an opportunity to be in the top 20 where they can draft like D-line help so that you don't have to swing for the Felix Anudike Uzamas of the world. So I think if you're picking 13 or whatever and you've got a legit first-round D-lineman that you're not normally able to draft, you probably go that route. But yeah, that's what's so crazy about the Chiefs running back thing is it's not that we're not necessarily asking you to spend $15 million a year on a superstar running back or draft a guy in the first round. It's just like, do something about it. Yeah, so the other two prospects I watched were Carnell Tate and Jordan Tyson. Really like Tyson. A lot of like Emeka Egbuka. My range on Jordan Tyson for comps was like Romeo Doubs, Emeka Egbuka, Stephon Diggs. Like he's a smooth, mid-sized receiver, great route runner, good hands, relatively savvy after the catch. Profiles really well as just the number one target in your offense that can move around, do a little bit of everything. Injuries with him, though, scare the piss out of me. 4 years of college, he missed, late season ACL in his freshman year, leaves Colorado, doesn't play his entire sophomore year, junior year, misses the college football playoffs with a collarbone injury, and then this year misses the second half of the year with a hamstring injury. For a guy that, the grade on him, I think, is pretty similar, honestly, to what I had on like Matthew Golden last year. I actually see a lot of similarities in those guys' games. Dylan, whoa, $99 super chat, Dylan. Are you kidding me? Dude, thank you so much. That's amazing. Merry Christmas to you too. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Dylan. Wow. MVP of the chat right there. Let's get a little soundbite. Shout out John Cena. But just to finish my thought there on Jordan Tyson, pretty similar grade to roughly around Golden last year, but I think you got to ding it down a little bit with some injury concerns there. I think if you spent a top 10 pick, oh my God, is Puka? Oh, Stafford just missed him. You don't get open and behind this defense too often. You might get open on that bender like you did on the big play earlier, but you don't get that opportunity a whole lot against this defense. I love that they're picking on Josh Jobe, though. I tweeted this out, but I think Josh Jobe's kind of a ticking time bomb. I think he's been kind of hidden by this defensive infrastructure. I think a good team like this can pick on a guy like that. All right, here comes the rain. Do. And there's that bender, Jordan Whittington. But on your super chat, Dylan, again, thank you so much, dude. Incredible. I'm a Saints fan. Just want to know your opinion about the Saints, Kellen Moore, and Tyler Shuck so far. Yeah. Really like where you're at as a Saints fan. Like, Kellen Moore feels like he's everything you could have hoped for. Young offensive mind. I think the team plays really hard in that regime. You could even give a little love to Brandon Staley's got that defense playing well. There's been the occasional like third down press blitz look from that defense. So you're like, all right, they're doing a little bit, Staley's a young coach. Is Brandon Staley even 40 years old yet? Like some of these active he's 43. Some of these active defensive coordinators have forgotten more about defensive football than Brandon Staley's ever learned it, like his mentor, Vic Fangio. So it's not crazy to say Staley can't learn and adjust and get better. So, yeah, I mean, from a coaching perspective, you love what the Saints are working with. I love Tyler Shuck. I think everything is there for a rookie quarterback to feel like you might have a franchise quarterback there. Physical traits, processing, pocket movement was always my favorite thing about Tyler Shuck. Like, once you get past the age thing, you really do see an exciting quarterback, and that was always and the injury stuff with him in college was the other big fear. But the actual tape and traits evaluation on Tyler Shuck was like, I think I might have even said if he was 22 years old and didn't have a crazy injury record, he probably would have been my QB1. It's just all the other stuff. And the other stuff is feeling less and less like an issue right now the more you get to see him play football. So super excited there. But yeah, I think the Saints are, I don't want to say they have the brightest future in that division, but they're setting up to compete in the lousy South for years to come. All right, another 4th and 2 for the Rams. They're going to not go for it looks like. Just kick it. We did also get a super chat from Panthers fan who says, let's go Panthers. The NFC South chats came in back to back. Not to rub it in, Vanish, but he does say, I'm a Commanders fan. I've been a fan since 2008. I wanted to formally apologize after I thought you were insane for your prediction this offseason. You were right. Yeah, they were one of the most obvious regression candidates I've ever seen, to be honest. They can get back to it though. You got to get Jaden back happy, healthy and rolling. I still need a great nickname for the NFC South. I feel like NFC lousy is close, but that's not quite there. The chances the Eagles lose the division, I mean, 0%. They're not going to get swept by the Commanders. All they have to do is win one of them. Everybody panic. The score is 6-7. You know what I say to that? NFC south of 500. NFC slouch. That might have to be it. I think that's the winner right there by Random Meg. I think NFC slouch. That's it. All right, we found it. Do I trust Trevor Lawrence or Bo Nix for a playoff push? Oh, God. Trust with those two quarterbacks is not the right word. I think my cop-out answer is if trust is what you're looking for, I think Bo Nix has the higher floor of those two QBs for a 4-game stretch. But the obvious thing there is Trevor Lawrence, with the way he's playing right now, playing the best ball of his career. I mean, the upside for him to reduce your margin for error and take over games and be that true difference maker is much higher. I will say, though, Bo Nix against the Packers, best game of his career. If he can do that more consistently, dude, that's an outstanding minimal tier 2 QB that with that Broncos team, there's no reason they can't be a perennial Super Bowl contender, but it's just the one game. Bo Nix has not been that guy all year long, but man, he was dialed in that Packers game. I was just shaking my head. What are you going to do about it, man? Extending plays, dropping in hole shots down the sideline, throwing nice touch passes for touchdowns. Amazing game. All right, this game's delivering right now. The score is 7-6, Seattle. So Dylan says Banks looks like a franchise left tackle. Shuck looks like a franchise QB. Jonas Sanker's shown pretty good upside at safety. Devin Neal was a steal in the 6th. Quincy Riley's been a solid starting corner. I agree. Especially if Brandon Staley's going to be earning that job and sticking around. I really like Quincy Riley. That was kind of my analysis of that pick was I actually like him quite a bit for where they got him as an off-zone style corner. But I was I'm also just not a believer in Brandon Staley. So if you spent that pick and then fired Brandon Staley in a year, it's well, he's no longer a scheme fit. But if Brandon Staley's getting better, I think absolutely Quincy Riley's a starting caliber corner in that system. Death himself, thank you for the super chat. Is Tua done? who would take him as a backup QB? I couldn't agree more. I keep seeing people bring up different teams as options for Tua, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Why would he? Oh, Darnold's gonna. Oh, what a play by Nate Landman on that! Wow. He was in man coverage on an angle route out of the backfield. Sam Darnold just saw him with a 2-on-1 situation, assuming Landman was going to break up the middle of the field on that angle route. And then he started scrambling into that space, and Landman recognized it immediately. Hell of a play. That's probably a 10, 15-yard scramble if Landman doesn't do that. Now we got 3rd and 15. And they're just going to concede it. Pretty conservative game plan for Seattle so far, but with the rain coming down in that defense, I get it, but they punted on 4th and 1. Now they conceded a 4th and 15. I don't know. I never really like when Matthew Stafford's on the other side of the ball. I don't like just giving up a down. Like 3rd and 15 isn't an impossible. Like at least call like a play action boot or something that's got a chance. You know, a predictable swing pass to Kenneth Walker, that's not going to do it. What a punt return. Wow. But yeah, back to your super chat. I think Tua needs, I mean, I get it. Like, he wants to play football and all that, but you've made how much money? Everybody told you should have retired last year with the concussion things. Like, why would you come in and be a backup quarterback? And yeah, why would you sign him to do that? I don't know. I didn't hate the idea of the Colts if Daniel Jones is going to take some extra time to get ready to go next year. Like, if you think Daniel Jones is going to miss the first month, I think Tua can play in that Shane Steichen offense and distribute the ball for a month as one last little ride. But, I mean, he's a backup QB. Like, no one's making him a starter. That'd be insane. And then Chiefs Guy, thank you for the super chat, $20 super chat. Thank you. It says happy holidays. And the super chats go a long way towards holiday spendings and getting ready for the new year. Thank you, everybody. But Saturday is the first ever Montana versus Montana State playoff game. Cheapest ticket is $500. $480 with promo code TFG10 though. On SeatGeek. Holy crap. Dude, that's insane. I guess people don't have anything better to do? Oh my God. Imagine you're taking your family to go see Montana versus Montana State, and it costs you $2,500. Oh my God. But keep an eye on Michael Wortham. He's a beast. Go Grizz. Is he a linebacker? I feel like Montana and Montana State crank out linebackers. That blows my mind. Is that accurate? I'm gonna fact check you. Did I say fact check? I'm gonna fact check you. Okay, Rams are back. Blake Corum. All right, so it was Montana State. Oh my God. I mean, obviously the capacity of that stadium's pretty low. If you want to get 4 tickets together, you can get standing room only for $487 is the cheapest. If you want your ass on a bleacher, there is one option at $5. That's actually maybe value there. There's one option at $500 seats. You could probably buy those and resell them pretty quickly because those are way cheaper. But yeah, if anybody's going to Montana State, code TFG10 on SeatGeek will save you $20 off your $2,000 purchase on tickets. At least it's a beer and a hot dog. I mean, dude, you better get like all you can eat and drink for those prices to a Montana State game. They better have a freaking buffet for everybody. Oh, my Lord. All right, we got a big third and one coming up. Mr. Plopper says, in a playoff game in fantasy this week, Lawrence on the road in Denver, Herbert on the road versus the Cowboys, or Shuck at home versus the Jets. Whew. I don't think I'm playing Herbert. Dude, Shuck against the Jets is tempting. I think I still go Lawrence. Ride or die with Lawrence. But the fact that it's in consideration. Okay, 3rd and 2. There's a little third down run. The Jets have 0 picks on the year. That's right. They got lots of draft picks, at least. All right, I need a little Colby Parkinson for my underdog lineup. I need 30 receiving yards from Colby Parkinson in his revenge game here. Well, there goes Corum. A lot of 8, 9-yard carries for the Rams tonight. Those are huge in a game like this. It's huge any week. A lot of 13 personnel for the Rams. And we know, oh, here goes Corum bouncing it out. Great tackle by E-Man Worry. But we know Seattle matches 13 personnel with their base defense with a guy like Nick E-Man Worry there. So far, I would say the Rams are winning that. Probably north of 50% success rate, I would say, running the ball out of 13 personnel. They're out there again. Matched by nickel. Another good tackle by E-Man Worry there. If JSN goes into halftime with no points, I will be very happy because my opponent in our Patreon Dynasty League has JSN. Yep, that was open. This is a great football game, man. No complaints so far. We've had a little moments of rain. The rain's gone away. We've got some defense, some offense. More 13 personnel. All right, I need either a Kyron Williams touchdown or a Matthew Stafford touchdown. I got those guys going. Who have been the top 3 offensive lines this year? Colts. Probably Bills. And Rams. There it is. Touchdown, Terrence Ferguson. They had to have been in 13 personnel at least 2 out of 3 plays that drive. I can't go Bears because they're so one-dimensional. The Bears are not a good pass blocking unit, but their run blocking has been top 3. The Bears have absolutely been a top 5 to 10 offensive line. Oh, Broncos too. Yeah, Broncos definitely. Broncos are an excellent pass blocking unit, not quite as good as a run blocking unit. They definitely need to be up there. Texans, Chargers, Browns for top 3 offensive lines. Yeah, definitely. Super chat from Chiefs guy. Wortham is a wide receiver. This is the Montana kid. He has over 2,300 all-purpose yards this year and threw up 200 receiving yards last week. Jeez. Wasn't like the Montana State QB drafted by the Raiders or something to play wide receiver? Am I making that up? How badly did the Chiefs miss Joe Thuney? I mean, would they rather have him? Yeah, but I don't think that's their. I don't think you look back on the Chiefs season and say, they regret that trade necessarily. I mean, they needed that cap space to pay Trey Smith, and I don't know. Suamataia has been pretty good at guards, so. Tommy Malott. Yeah, that's right. Alan Lazard's a free agent, and the Packers need a tight end while Wiley's in concussion protocol. I was thinking I wouldn't be stunned if the Packers picked up Lazard just to get another kind of unique, heavy personnel. Like, I honestly, Grim, knowing you, I don't even think you're saying that as a joke. Like, I actually don't think it's a bad idea to pick up Lazard as a tight end in the sense that Terrence Ferguson's a tight end for the Rams, or, Harold Fannon's a tight end for the Browns. Like, that role, it doesn't really matter what his positional listing is. I still think Lazard is like overrated as a blocker, and I mean, don't even get me started on how I think about his receiving capabilities, but it's not like they have another big body like that to do that stuff that Lazard can do. I don't think it's a horrible idea. If they did it, I wouldn't be like pissed or anything. Like, I normally trash Alan Lazard, because it's not like he's going to get a bunch of targets like he did back in the day in Green Bay. Yeah, Lazard can be the new Josiah DeGuara. I don't mind him if that's the expectation, is you're coming in to replace Josh Wiley, right? Like, that's fine. Would I be against the Packers trading for an established star receiver? Yeah, I would. I think the Packers are more than fine. They're going to be letting receivers walk this offseason. They're going to let Josh Dobbs go, I think. I have total trust in Golden. I tweeted it out, but the narrative on Golden's been weird from people not really paying attention, to be honest. Golden's looked really good. It's just the first 5 weeks, they were a run-heavy offense. Romeo Dobbs was balling. And then he gets hurt, misses 7 weeks, and then I think people just didn't even realize he was hurt, inactive, not really available. And then he's active last week and looks great. Like I'm really just not worried about Golden at all. And Josh Dobbs, my favorite receiver. Yeah, I misspoke there. Ooh, there's the pressure. Kobe Turner. The Seahawks offensive line just terrifies the crap out of me in a bad way. Zabel just got on that one. That's a couple of... Or actually, Kobe Turner was a Shrine Bowl superstar, I think. That was Shrine Bowl superstar, Kobe Turner, versus Senior Bowl superstar, Gray Zabel. That was probably the worst I've seen Gray Zabel get beat in pass protection this year, one-on-one. That was unfortunate. He just completely missed with his hands, and Kobe Turner. Oh, Kenneth Walker. Third down handoff. I was saying the swing pass was a waste of time last possession on 3rd and 15, but hey, just run it up the middle on 3rd and 16. Maybe that's got a chance. Wow. Okay. Woof. We did get a super chat there. As a percentage of the cap, the Chiefs paid more for Tooney, Juwan, Taylor, Mahomes last year than the Bengals are this year for Chase, Burrow, Higgins. Yeah, but that's just how contracts are structured, right? Like, you could take any combination of guys that were recently paid, and the Bengals recently paid Chase and Higgins, and their cap hits are going to be smaller than guys like Tooney and Taylor and Mahomes, who are steadily under contract. Yeah, Kenneth Walker's been a difference maker for the Seahawks tonight. He had the big screen earlier, now nice run. That was a huge play in this game. 2-minute warning. Rams were about to get a chance to put up some points before half. That was massive. Seahawks needed that one. Yes, I heard about the J.J. Watt Packers thing. As if Packers fans weren't having a bad enough week. How frustrating. Dude, J.J. Watt on that Packers team would have been so good. So they could have drafted T.J. Watt and they took Kevin King instead. And then they could have had J.J. Watt. The most frustrating thing about the J.J. Watt thing is the frickin' Green Bay Packers never have an advantage in free agency. They never have an advantage. Nobody wants to, like, can't say nobody because there's some football junkies that truly, like, only care about going to practice, going home, going to sleep, and then waking up and repeating. Most human beings enjoy good weather, larger cities, something to do in your free time, low state income tax. Green Bay has none of that, right? Like, the Packers never have an advantage in free agency. And the one time one of the big name free agents is like, yeah, I'll go play for you for free, they don't even fucking call him. And people wonder why I have such a built-up distrust of Brian Gutekunst, even though he's building it back in recent years. There goes Kenneth Walker again. Surprise, surprise, bouncing it outside. Let's pretend the Packers have a first-round pick. What position am I addressing? Corner. Corner or defensive tackle, whoever the best at those positions are. Another run. Seahawks are just conceding the passing game. They're like, screw it. We're just going to run the ball the whole time. Quick little QB sneak just to get it here. Yep. All right, call a timeout now. Mac Jones to the Dolphins, Bernie, is interesting. The problem is you have to trade for him. Are you trading a third-round pick for Mac Jones? That's the question. Because he actually signed a 2-year deal in San Francisco. And if you're the Niners, you're probably not trading your excellent, cheap backup quarterback when you have an injury-prone starter. You're not trading him for anything less than a third-round pick. I don't know why you would do that. Because the fourth-round pick is the cost of a backup in the draft. And if you're the Dolphins, I don't think I send a third-round pick. I think you need that pick to build up the roster. That could be a guard or a corner or a receiver or something. Yeah, why are the Seahawks still running it at this point? The conservative, they've been very conservative. Emilio, I don't think JSN's necessarily getting shut down, though. It's just the Seahawks aren't throwing the football. There was the Emmanuel Forbes pass breakup on the 5-yard completion, but that's about it. Chris Shula feels like a lock to get a head coaching job, yes. Especially this year is a very disproportionate year in terms of openings versus candidates. You know who else I think is almost a lock to get another head coaching job is Brian Daboll. When you really look at the available candidates, I mean, we got a little scramble action here. Man, they're doing a really good job stepping up when Darnold decides to scramble tonight. Ooh, defensive holding. I don't think Shula takes the Raiders job. Shula's going to be the top candidate. He'll probably take, ideally it'd be the Giants job. Chris Shula to the Giants would be just elite cinema. Him with that D-line. Quick slant. Oh my God, he fumbled it. Oh, Cooper Kupp, no, what you doing? What you doing, bro? No. Kobe Durant. One of the OG TFG My guys. What a play. Oh, all he did was recover it. That I hate. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. Cam Curl forced it. It's one of my biggest pet peeves about NFL broadcasts is when there's a fumble recovery, 99% of the time, the first name that the announcers will credit or highlight and celebrate is the dude that just fell on the football. They almost never truly highlight the guy that actually forced the fumble. It drives me nuts. Like, I don't know. I can only half hear it through my headphones, but did they even mention Cam Curl there? They might have. I didn't hear it. Cam Curl put his nose on that football and popped it out. So we got to get ready for our classic halftime immaculate grid. Always fun. Ooh, there's a Packers logo. We got Rams Seahawks, of course. There's Packers and Bengals on there. There's Giants, and there's 10 rushing touchdown seasons on there. Thoughts on Byron Young's career so far? Great question. First 2 years, I thought he was a little bit overrated, kind of that classic, gets a bunch of sacks on cleanup duty. This year, completely delete that narrative. He's been really good. He's going to get a very large payday. He's probably going to get 25, 26. I really think the biggest thing with him is playing with Jared Verse for a year. I really think he was like, wait a minute, I could do that. I could bull rush guys, because he never used to bull rush guys. He didn't. And Byron Young started bull rushing guys this year, and then I think that's opened up everything else. He's realizing how tackles now have to set differently, and when guys have to account for that bull rush, all of a sudden that corner will open up for him. And it's just unlocked his whole game. He's been really impressive. Still pretty new to football. All right, I can't imagine the Rams are going to be too aggressive here, but 40 seconds left as they take a deep shot and almost complete it to Kanata Mumfield. Yes, I did comment on Devin White, on the Devin White tweet. Oh, Mumfield. God, great play by Josh Jobe there, man. Didn't panic, didn't grab him. Broke it up. Josh Jobe has had an excellent night. Well, he did get torched for what should have been a touchdown, and Stafford missed him. But he's had a couple nice tackles. That was a really good pass breakup. Seahawks just called timeout. Why would the Seahawks call a timeout? You've been conservative this entire half, and now all of a sudden you think you're going to get the ball back and score here after all you've been doing is handing off and throwing swing passes on 3rd and 16? It's kind of interesting. Yeah, Rams just conceding it. All right. Immaculate grid time, guys. So let me pull this up here. Oh, that's not what we want. Still not what we want. There we go. All right, immaculate grid. Hold on. Let me create a little mini-me here. There we go. All right. I do just want to pull the chat up here too. Okay. So, Seahawks Rams. We can do better than Blake Martinez for Giants Packers. We can go a little deeper than that. Seahawks Rams. Billy Price is a good one for Bengals Giants. I like that. Yeah, John Runyon's a little obvious for Packers Rams. Yep, Colby Parkinson's pretty good. So, yeah, if you don't know what this is, you have to think of a player that fills both of the combined slots here. So, this guy's got to be someone that played for the Seahawks Rams. This guy's got to be Giants Packers. But you get more points depending on how few people have had that answer. So you want very niche answers here. So like Poona Ford is really good. Trey Brown is really good. I like that. Although, didn't Trey Brown go to the Niners, not the Rams? Oh, and the other thing is you get 3 misses, I think. So you got to be careful. You don't want to just type in and go for it. Are we sure Trey Brown played for the Rams? I thought he just went straight to the Niners. I feel like there's a linebacker here that I can't think of. Like, oh, you know who I'm thinking of? I think this one will work, but I don't know how they would list him. Chris Paul? Not that Chris Paul. Not Chris Paul. Hold on. The undrafted rookie from Ole Miss. Pooh Paul is his nickname. Yeah, Chris Paul Jr. That's what I want to answer, I think. But I don't know if it's going to register that. Like, will accept Pooh Paul? Pooh Bear Williams? Yeah, he hasn't played any regular season, so they might not count it. Okay, I won't count that. Yeah, Ernest Jones is a little more obvious. I do like the Darian Kendrick one. It's a little more recent, but I'm trying to think of like members of the Legion of Boom that. Oh, Crosby? Mason Crosby played for the Seahawks? Or you're talking about the Giants Packers? Yeah, that's not bad. All right, I think I'm going to go Darian Kendrick here. Just got to figure out how to... Yeah. Okay. 0.7%. That's pretty damn good. All right. I thought it would be higher. I thought it'd be like 5%. All right, Packers, this will be fun. Who went to the Rams? I should be pretty good at this. Justin Hollins is a great shout out. What's up, Garrett? Good to see you, my friend. Okay, Rams, Packers. Yeah, Clay Matthews did. That's right. Yeah, a little obvious. I think the best one we have so far is definitely Hollins. I can't even think of it. It's Justin Hollins. Jared Cook's a good one. Letting Speedy walk this offseason. Oh. I forget that I can't even think of his last name right now. On the Vikes, though, the wide receiver 3 from Michigan State. I can't even think of his last name. But I forget that his name is Speedy. Ooh, Tavon Austin. Did he sign with the Packers? That does sound right. I don't remember him ever playing for the Packers. I don't know if I want to risk one of my guesses on that. Yeah, Jalen Naylor, thank you. Speedy Naylor. There's some sneaky, like, decent wide receiver options this free agency. I think Naylor and Dobbs out of the NFC North are pretty nice. Grimm approves it. Tavon Austin did play for the Packers. Let's do it. Oh, let's go. 1%. I wonder what Justin Hollins would have been, if it would have been even better. But that's a great start. Okay. Tramon Williams for Rams Packers is another great one. All right, Rams Bengals. I don't think Darrell Washington was. Andrew Whitworth is a great one. Probably a little obvious, but... Yeah, Nick Scott. That's what I was thinking of. Nick Scott started on the Rams, right? I was like, there's a safety. There's a safety that's played there. I was going to say Jordan Fuller, but it's not him. Nick Scott is a great one. Troy Hill. Did Troy Hill play for the Bengals? Ryan Fitzpatrick. You could just say Ryan Fitzpatrick if you don't know on any of these, and you have a pretty good chance. Coy Bacon. Okay, I like Troy Hill. I think that's going to be good, because who the hell remembers Troy Hill playing on the Bengals? I don't. Ooh, great call. Great call. Nick Scott would have been really good, too. We should be able to check some of these afterwards. All right. Seahawks, Giants. Yeah, Russell Wilson. You got Leonard Williams is going to be an obvious one. Julian Love as well. Yeah, Drew Lock. Ooh, Russell Okung. You might be onto something there, Garrett. Golden Tate. Yep. Okay, Stone Forsythe. That name, that was the first name I thought of, but did he play for the Giants? I don't remember Stone Forsythe on the Giants. It might be worth a risk, though. We're off to a good start. When the hell did Stone Forsythe play in the Giants? But it's weird. That's like the first name that came to my mind. Should we risk it? Oh, chat. We burned one. All right. Doesn't count. He was on the Giants practice squad. So let's keep that in mind. He has to actually play games for teams. We can't do the practice squatters moving around. DJ Fluker's a good one, but he was a former first-round pick. Wait, Brandon Marshall. Jeff says Brandon Marshall. He did play for the Seahawks, right? You guys are saying Walter Thurmond. The old ones always scare me. I kind of like the Brandon Marshall one. Did Brandon Marshall for sure play for the Seahawks? I don't want to burn another one here. I need chat to help me out on this one. Because I have an image of that, but Greg Van Roten. I don't remember Van Roten on the Seahawks. Okay, Brandon Marshall. We're going to go with Brandon Marshall. I think that's a really good one. Oh, man, 5%. All right. All right, Packers, Giants. Yeah, Mario Edwards Jr. would have been a good one there. All right, Packers, Giants. Also, keep an eye on the game. We got some time. Isaac Yiadom's good, but that was a trade. People tend to remember the trades. Martinez is going to be too popular. What about dude, who was that big nose tackle? Yes, Colin Jenkins, Billy. We thought of that at the same time. I'm going Colin Jenkins. Although maybe that was too popular back in the day. Ooh, Jalen Smith at linebacker. That's actually really good. Moon God. All right. I'm going that route. Good call, Moon God. Yeah, that's really good. I am curious what Colin Jenkins was, but that one's probably too popular. Yeah, Isaiah Simmons would have been another fun one. All right, the kickoff is coming, so we can get back to the game here, but well, let's think of Bengals Giants in the meantime. We'll come back to this the next commercial break, but we can I think Max Crosby's going to be way too popular or that would have been for Packers Giants. I think it was pretty memorable. All right. I need to take this down. Double TFGs. Let's go. Life is a maze. All right. Also, Parth, thank you for the super chat. Says, I've mostly missed the last 6 weeks because I've been watching cricket. You think you can summarize the biggest narrative changes for me? Chiefs eliminated. Mahomes tears his ACL. start to the season will be questionable. Packers figured their crap out about 6 weeks ago. There's some big questions about the Packers. They're looking like Super Bowl contenders. Have a lead in the third quarter in Denver. Micah Parsons tears his ACL. Devastating. The Rams have started to pull away as the premier team in the NFL, though, being challenged tonight. The Jags and Texans have overtaken the AFC South that looked like all Colts about 6 weeks ago. Daniel Jones tore his Achilles. So that's been a big shift in the last 6 weeks. The Bears keep winning. Caleb Williams seems to get better every week. Some core narratives for you. Thank you for the super chat. I hope you've enjoyed your cricket. Oh yeah, Phillip Rivers is back. All right, I'm going to do another kill a pitch shot for the second half here. We're pouring this one out for Micah Parsons. Man, Kenneth Walker through the hole. Is he going to go? He's going to go. Dude, Cam Curl is so slow. Wow, what a difference maker Kenneth Walker's been tonight. Anybody that stuck it out in fantasy football has endured the Kenneth Walker season and frustrations to get this from you in the semifinals of your playoffs. You are so happy right now. Also, by the way, is the Seahawks backup left tackle, is it Josh Jones? Yeah, that's right. I forgot they have Josh Jones. I didn't bring that up when we talked about Charles Cross being out. But Josh Jones is a really good backup left tackle. I feel like he's had a pretty good night. We haven't really thought about Jared Verse or any of that. Granted, Seahawks have been running the ball a lot, but Josh Jones has been historically a really good left tackle, but a horrible everything else. He's tried guard, right tackle. He's bounced around a couple different teams. He was like infamously kind of a niche story here, but in that draft class, I watched the wrong tackle at Houston because Josh Jones was getting some late first round hype. He ended up going early third round. But I watched the wrong tackle at Houston, and for like 2 months, I like stood on my high horse and I was like, I don't see it with Josh Jones. I think he's pretty overrated. I don't see a first round player. And then about a month before the draft, I think I saw a clip of him on Twitter or something, and my heart sank. I was like, holy shit, I watched the wrong tackle. And I've been out here with these Josh Jones takes. Ironically, the other tackle did end up a pro prospect, so it made sense why I ended up with like a third to a fourth round grade for me. He ended up falling off the next year, but ever since then, I double and triple check to make sure I'm watching the right guy. Especially offensive line. All right. This one's for Micah Parsons. And to my German friends, whether you're in Dusseldorf, Munich, Berlin, wherever it might be. Love me some kill a pitch. Yeah, is it niche or niche? I think it is niche, but sometimes I say niche. They just showed that little arcade bar in Seattle, and I'm about 95% sure I've been to that bar that they just showed. That little barcade. I'm like damn certain I've been there. Is tier 1 of QBs still Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Burrow? I think you could probably put Stafford in there now. Where's Teddy? He's right here. It's time for Teddy. Come here, bud. It's time for Teddy to be the superstar. Ducky was on here earlier, but Teddy's the real MVP. The only reason we don't have Teddy Cam is the webcam I use for Teddy Cam is being used to show the score bug there. Teddy's the OG MVP. What's up, dude? He's like, thanks, Dad. I was wondering what was going on in the football game. Ooh, okay. We got 3rd and 9. This is a huge 3rd and 9 coming up. Teddy is going to be 10 in... it's funny. Teddy is a leap year birthday. He was born on February 29th. So he's technically 2 years old in terms of how many birthdays he's had, but he turns 10 this upcoming February / March 1st. On the day that doesn't exist is his birthday. All right, 3rd and 9. Oh my God. Oh my God. How did that happen? What? That is not like the Seahawks defense right there. Yeah, they totally used Puka as a attention suck there. Wow. Good job by Stafford to buy just enough time to get that out there. I think Tutu's hurt, Matthew. I think Tutu's had a rough year with injuries because, yeah, he hasn't played much. But, yeah, I think he's been hurt. Let's see. Let's see if he's on IR. He's active. So, yeah, I don't know. I know he's coming back from injury, but... Say Burrow actually requests a trade. Which teams can afford the cost? I think anybody can make it happen if they want. Other than the teams that don't have first-round picks. So, like Atlanta, Green Bay, the Jags. But I think as long as you have a first-round pick this year, you can... And presumably your first round next year. You can make it happen. I think the price is 2 firsts, a few other picks, and probably a player or two. So I'd say pretty much everybody can afford the price. It's more about are you an organization that Joe Burrow wants to go to? That's the main holdup, I think. Like, Joe Burrow's not going to agree to go play for the Browns. Okay, we got a big holding call, backs this up. More 13 personnel for the Rams here. Oh, Flea flicker out of 13 into a screen. Oh my God. That play was porn for a football fan right there. Come out in 13 personnel, you run the flea flicker, and then you end up getting everybody to panic deep. And then you just come into a screen. Oh my God, I love that. That's such a good play. It's just not what you expect off the flea flicker. So we've seen two of my favorite little scheme quirks is the play action rollout throwback screen, and then the flea flicker screen. I also like the fake flea flicker run, where the running back stops and fakes the toss backwards and then just carries upfield that the Bears did. That was pretty funny too. I did get a super chat. I'm going to wait till the next commercial there, Shelton, because I think there's some good content there for the commercial break. But thank you for the super chat. Okay, more 13 personnel here. Oh, Kyron slipped. So you got to kick it, right? Teddy, there's a certain way if you hold him, he just puts his head up like this and just freezes. As you can see. Dude, blink. Thank you. Whoa. 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 All that just for a false start. I'm thinking Teddy likes this little scratch right here. What's Teddy's favorite treat? He's a big fan of the Kong filled with peanut butter. Is probably his number one. That and cheese. That's if he's been like a really good dog. All right, Rams got the lead back. This is a great game. This is kind of what I expected. A few more big plays, honestly, than I thought we'd see. But I thought I didn't want to bet the under 42.5 points because I thought these guys had enough offensive talent to maybe threaten that. But I thought lower scoring grunge match. All right. Also, yes, Harrison Mevis is money. Thicker kicker. Don't discriminate against fat people. He was a stud coming out, in my opinion. Should have had an opportunity before this. Anyway, Sheldon Wong, what's your process when there are several prospects at one position on the same team? Do you do one guy at a time or do you watch each play a few times? So, great question. I actually just got this same question from Brandon, who I know is also in the chat here somewhere. A lot of great questions this time of year about my scouting process. One of these days, I'll have a book about how I scout and what I look for. But I have actually started to shy away from exactly what you're saying, where, say, in years past, I would do that. Like if I was doing the Ohio State offense, I would just rip the all 22 for 3 or 4 of their games, and I would just meticulously go through play by play, eval every player, do those write-ups one at a time. I find that process actually extremely tedious, and somehow even less efficient than just watching guys, focusing in on one player at a time. So I've actually stopped doing that. The exception would be if, like, the perfect example would be, I think, offensive linemen and defensive line, where your eyes are right there anyway. Like wide receiver, DB, like you're spreading out. Like what one guy's doing can be completely unrelated to what another guy's doing. If there's a couple offensive linemen together or D linemen at the same time, I will do those at the same time, especially if the other guy is more of a day three prospect. So like last year, take TJ Sanders and Tonka Hemingway, for example. I did those two guys together because that made sense. And I knew Hemingway was a day 3 guy. I didn't need the full, like, thorough look at him. So that would be, or like if you have a first round tackle and, more of a day 3 guy. Offensive lines, generally speaking, I do actually do those all at once. I will say that. That's the one position group where I almost always, if there's multiple prospects on an offensive line, I will do them at the same time. So great question. Filled up the whole commercial break. Okay. Here we go, Seahawks. Oh my. That was a miscommunication. Darnold thought he was running a hitch, and JSN wanted the dig. They just showed leaders in receiving EPA. Puka and JSN 1 and 2. Number 3 was George Pickens. He's been that good. It's crazy. The George Pickens Cowboys contract saga this offseason is going to be electric. Because Pickens is going to ask for like 40 a year. Teddy is the real MVP. That's the truth. The chillest dog ever. All he wants to do is just hang out, watch football. Oh, what a catch. Whoa. Absolute missile, too. All right, there we go. Line him. You can't get JSN involved. Fine, we'll put him at running back, run an angle route, just fire a laser up the middle of your defense. Okay. A quick little screen. Wow, great play by, is that Wallace? Josh Wallace, right, from Michigan. Having to play in the slot with our guy, Quentin Lake, out. Man, splits 2 blockers. Yikes. That's the type of play that happens in Madden that makes me throw my controller through a wall. When you have 2-on-1 and they both screw up. I was going to say, though, on that, JSN lined up at running back, runs the angle route. That's Clint Kubiak working his magic right there. You're struggling to get JSN going, and then you just create a little easy button there, get a huge first down. Whew. Did I retire from the TFGO League? No, I did not. Great opportunity to plug my online league. I think we still have a wait list. So let me pull up the application link, just if anybody wants to get in on our Madden League. Might as well plug it while we're hanging out here. But no, our league is going... Oh, boy. Oh, Darnold, no. And he's down at the 1. Come on, give it to Kyron. Give it to Kyron. But Darnold, no. This is exactly what we always talk about with Darnold, man. You just don't want that to happen. You're driving with a chance to take the lead with 20 minutes left in this game. Bro. That was Josh Wallace, who we were just talking about. I want to watch that one more time. I get why Darnold threw it. I think Herbstreit had a good call on that. They did a pre-snap man look. The problem is Chris Shula, man. Post-snap disguise is the name of the game. Baits you into thinking you're working double slants, man-to-man. I mean, that's that post-snap surprise. Yeah, of course it's Blake Corum. Oh, but was he short? Ugh, of course they give it to Corum. Come on. Feed Kyron. God damn it. Yeah, he was in. Kyron's having a quiet night, unfortunately. I'm going up against JSN, though, so... All right, how are you going to respond, Seattle? This game is far from over. What were we just doing? Oh, yeah, my Madden League. So if you want to apply to join our Madden League, there's a rule book you got to read, and then there's a little application quiz you got to take and send in. But there is the application. It's going strong. We're in year 2. I haven't streamed it on Twitch for a few weeks for various reasons, but we'll be back to doing that probably after Christmas. And then I also want to plug, while we're here, I was listening to one of the NFL Stock Exchange podcasts, and they were talking about setting up their Discord server, and it got me motivated to plug my server a little bit more because I haven't done a good job of that recently. So if you want to hop in our Discord server, that link's down below, but also there's that. I'm trying to be more active in there. Just a couple plugs there. Okay, we got to finish our immaculate grid, though. So, have you guys been brainstorming? Bengals and... It changed my... All right, there we go. Bengals, Giants. We got Billy Price. That's a good one, but a former first-round pick. Going to be pretty popular. Pharaoh Cooper, I like that a lot if he played for the Bengals. A couple people said that. I'm cool with Pharaoh Cooper. I think we spelled that wrong. Very nice. Oh, I was thinking of Pharaoh Brown, the tight end. Pharaoh Cooper, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Wow. Okay, good job, chat. That's insane. 0.5%. Okay, 10 plus rushing touchdown seasons. Thomas Rawls. These are going to be more bigger names, obviously. I think probably Thomas Rawls or... Yeah, that's probably the best I got. Oh, he didn't get to 10. Damn. All right, we only have one guest left, so we got to be careful. Yeah, that's the question is, does it have to be 10 touchdowns as a Seahawk. I think with one guess left, I think we need to go that route, because if we use our last guess, we don't get to go with any of the other ones. All right, just keep thinking of the good answers for Seahawks, Packers, Bengals. Nice. We just picked up like 10 new people. Hell yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to ramp things up with the Discord. That's for sure. I got my notifications going on it. So we got to readjust this. Christine Michael's a really good guess for the Seahawks. He had that one big year. Oh, the pressure comes in, and oh my God. That should have been number 2. God, Chris Shula is cooking right now in this second half. That blitz shattered the Seahawks' protections. Shula's ability to manufacture a rush is right next to Brian Flores for adding value as a DC. I mean, he is going to be a huge loss for the Rams. It's probably not a narrative that I hear enough or have stressed enough myself. There's honestly a lot of pressure on the Rams to get another one right here. Not that they're ever going to fall off, but I mean, you got Stafford's going to be 38. You're going to lose Chris Shula. And I talked earlier about I'm really hopeful that, oh, there we go. Oh, he missed him. I'm very cautious or very, I guess, skeptical or hesitant. You know what I'm saying? With the Puka Nacua, when he gets paid, which is going to be this summer, as a talent, obviously, but every game it feels like that dude is playing with fire in terms of his durability. So that would worry me. Obviously, the Rams are never going to go away, but as we know, windows disappear before you can blink in the NFL. So there's a lot of pressure on the Rams to go get it done right now. Now, they already won a Super Bowl a few years ago, so it's less pressure, but probably not a narrative that gets brought up enough. 1st and 20 run goes nowhere. Seahawks are in trouble if they can't get things going here. Okay, Jeremy Hill for the Bengals. I like that a lot. We'll go there. Christine Michael, for our last guess, that's extremely dangerous because he had 1 year. Oh, man, Darnold. Oh, my God, Walker's reversing the whole field. Ooh. Hey, he made something out of that. Packers 10-yard rusher, 10 touchdown record. Are there any Packers fans that know who are the running backs for the 1960s Packers? Because those guys definitely had 10 touchdowns, 10 rushing touchdowns. But I actually don't know. Who was the classic Lombardi pitch? Guy back in the 60s. I don't know, it was a lot of fullbacks too, but yeah, Ryan Grant's going to be obvious for the Packers. We could do that, but Jim Taylor, Should we go with Jim Taylor? Cooper Kupp is not having a good night here. All right, we got a lot of Jim Taylors. So we're going to go, Paul Hornung is another one. Paul Hornung also won an MVP. So maybe... Okay, we're going to go Jim Taylor. We're going to go, was it Jeremy Hill? We'll plug those in now. We'll see if we got... No, what? Oh, so you literally only get nine guesses. Like, if you're wrong, you don't get any. Like, we have to be really careful with these. So, that was great. 3% is really good. So, we ranked 211th for the day. So, let's just do Jeremy Hill. Yep. And then let's see if Christine Michael. I don't even know. Yeah, there. No, Christine Michael did not. I mean, Kurt Warner did not have a 10 rushing touchdown season, I don't think. Well, we still did pretty good. Christine Michael has 7 career touchdowns. So... I thought we could look at like who the highest guys at that. All right, well, I'll take it. Oops, sorry. Okay, Rams have a chance to put this thing away here. Oh, the other Kurt Warner. I got you. I honestly didn't even know that there was another Kurt Warner, to be honest. I was born in 94, so I don't know of 80s Kurt Warner for Seattle. All right, Teddy, say goodbye. Say goodbye. You're not looking at the camera. Over there. Goodbye. I do have a super chat here. I'll get to it after this third down. It's a big play coming up. And he got it. Have a night, Xavier Smith. So Matthew said, what type of coach should the Browns try to hire? A culture or an offensive guru? I assume they'd like to keep Schwartz, but maybe they hire a DC. Yeah, I think the Browns have a unique advantage with Jim Schwartz to just focus on the offense. And that's what they need. So if I'm the Browns, it's either Kubiak or Brian Dable are my two guys, I think. Ooh, good hit. Drake Thomas. I mean, I wouldn't mix things up if I were the Browns. I think that's one of the more underrated assets you can get as an NFL team is the defensive coordinator that's not going to go be a head coach. You know, like it's great that the Rams found Chris Shula, but now they're going to have to go find another one. It's great that the Packers found Jeff Hafley, but they're going to have to go get another one. If you can lock in that DC that failed as a head coach, it's a dream. So I think why get away from that if you're Cleveland? Now, do they have the foresight to recognize that? No, probably not. But also their offense has just been such a disaster that I think you got to try to fix it. I feel like there's going to be some random offensive coach that nobody's talking about that ends up getting hired. God, the Rams are money, man. There goes Puka. Eman Warrior's such a freak, dude. All right, we got another we got another goal line situation for the Rams. If they don't give it to my guy Kyron, I'm going to be very upset. You already gave one to Corum. Come on, spread the love. Yeah, Puka Nacua. Are we ready to say he's now the best wide receiver in the NFL? I mean, Justin Jefferson took it a couple years ago. Jamal Adams took it, or Jamal Adams, Jesus. That's the killer pitch talking right there, I think. Jamar Chase took it last year. I mean, how could you say it's anyone other than Puka right now? He's basically been Jamar Chase, but better. Like, we talked about the unbelievable contested catch win rate earlier this year. That's going to have to be a stat. I mean, we can look at it right now. So he's at, I think he's 2 for 2 on contested catches tonight, but he's 24 of 31 on the year for 77%. Again, that's only going to go up after tonight, but I'm going to go back the last 5 years and I'm going to look at, let's say 25 plus, just to be safe, 25 plus contested catch targets. And I'm curious if anybody, Michael Wilson this year has been an absolute beast. Michael Wilson's at 72% on 29 contested catch targets. So that's pretty insane. But let's look at 30 plus contested catch targets. But Michael Wilson, that's pretty freaking rare there too, because the next guy down is at 60%. So shout out Michael Wilson. But 2024, it takes a second to load, so just bear with me. 2024, you had only one guy over 72%. That was Rome. But that was only on 18 targets. So nobody really even anywhere close in 2024. Jamar, by the way, is like a career 42% contested catch ball winner. Nobody over 60% in 2023. I'm just going to keep going slowly as we watch this game. There's Kyron. Come on, keep going. Give it back to him. 2022, nobody was over 65%. The highest on 30-plus targets was T. Higgins at 57%, so not even close. (2021), a couple guys over 70% on about 20 targets. Come on, Kyron. Come on, keep fighting. Jeez, they wanted to give it to him. They really did. Do it again. Come on. Again. So Mike Evans was at 75% in 2021, but that was on 20 targets. Again, Puka up to 30. No, I never talked about my Carnell Tate eval. We can do that next commercial break here. I just want to go back a few more years here. Yeah, nobody even close in 2020. You had a couple guys over 30 targets that were at 60%. Devontae Parker and A.J. Brown. We'll do 3 more years here to get the last... I think contested catch numbers go back to 2015 or so. So let's just keep looking. Okay, Michael Thomas was at 68% in 2019 on 34 contested catch targets. Pretty good. Kenny Golladay was at 63% on 41, but still nowhere close to 78%. Nobody anywhere close in 2018. All right, one more Kyron Williams touch. Come on. Oh, they threw it to Puka. At least I got a Stafford touchdown in one of my leagues. All right, this game's looking pretty cooked, you guys. Stephon Diggs was at 64% on 28 targets in 2017. I know one of these years they stop having the contested catch number, so I just want to go back as far. Yeah, this is where 2016, this is where I don't think they really charted a whole lot of plays as contested catches. And then 2015, I think, is where they don't have them. Yeah. So in summary, since 2017 when PFF started charting contested catches, only one player has seen more than 30 targets and gone over 68%. Mike Evans in 2020 was at 68%. Right, is what we said? But Puka's at about 80% this year. So anyway, I'm probably boring you at this point, just rattling off numbers, but nobody's really even come close, other than I guess Michael Wilson this year has also been an absolute monster at winning tough balls. I think about 6 of those came against my Packers. But just insane stuff, what he's doing. Anyway. Super chat from JL. Who would you say is the best yak amongst big body receivers in the league? To me, it's between Collins or Pickens. I wouldn't go Pickens. Pickens has impressed in that regard, but I wouldn't go Pickens. He's very nice there. I don't know if Puka counts or not, but Puka and Jamar. Lisa B, what's up? Happy anniversary, Lisa B. She wants some music for the mood on our anniversary. We'll give the lady what she wants. Best yak among big body. Great call out by Pike saying Drake London. I like that. Yeah, I mean, Jamar Chase, if he counts as a big-bodied wide receiver. But if we're going like 6'3 plus, yeah, I think Drake London's probably the answer there. If you're got to go 6'3 plus, then yeah, George Pickens. T. Higgins is underrated there. He's become pretty underrated there. Yeah, T-Mac, making a case for it. That's for sure. Does Trey McBride count? Correct. Not Alan Lazard. That's for sure. I do like your Nico Collins shout. Collins is not that he's not shifty or anything like that. I feel like a lot of his rack, though, is catching those in-breakers from Stroud right on the money, and he's just a moving horse. I do like the DK shout-out. DK's been really good after the catch this year. Recency bias with what he just did against the Dolphins, by far his best run-after-catch play of his career. Typically, DK is not as good after the catch, honestly. I don't really count long speed as run-after-catch. Like, if he catches and just outruns everybody, that's not really what I'm considering there. Hey, there's JSN. All right, let's see if the Seahawks have any life in them here. Yeah, Pittman, I would have definitely answered Michael Pittman for that a couple years ago. I've always said he kind of has that Debo trait where he's faster with the ball in his hands than he is in his routes. Haven't necessarily seen as much of that from him this year, I feel like. Will Terrence Ferguson be used more next year? Great question. Also, what's up, Soft Drink Sports? Good to see you, my friend. I was going to look up Colby Parkinson's contract. I think Colby still has one more year. Yeah, Colby still has one more year. I think it'll be pretty similar next year. I wouldn't necessarily peg him as like a big breakout candidate for next year, and I've been impressed by his skill set, but I think if you're talking about fantasy football, he's going to be a frustration for another year because they run 13 personnel. They have 3 tight ends they like. Obviously, you have Puka and Devontae are there. You got a couple running backs. I think he's a very talented player, but I would certainly not anticipate heavy usage next year. I think for them, it's more of like, man, there's another big play from Walker. But yeah, the fact that he's the guy that can get them deep vertical completions out of 13 personnel, you know, they don't care if it's one catch a game for 25 yards. But yeah, if you fast forward 2 years when Devontae's maybe more out of the picture, maybe. Yeah, DK Metcalf still has really bad contested catch stats. So now that you've all been acclimated with contested catch stats, let's pull up DK Metcalf. So Metcalf is right at what he's been the last few years. 36% this year, 36 last year, 29. He had a career year 2022, 51%, 35% before that. Actually, 53 was his rookie year. But he's a career 42% for DK freaking Metcalf. Contested catch win rate. It's hilarious. It's like the reason Seattle got rid of him. Yeah, Ben Sinnott is someone I'd be much more interested in Dynasty than T. Ferg. Because Sinnott's going to have an opportunity. I mean, Zach Ertz is done. ACL tear. And that's an offense that actually feeds a tight end, you know? So Ben Sinnott next year is definitely I would imagine he's going to get a lot of hype. I mean, he was a second-round pick. I remember watching him at Kansas State thinking I was crazy when I was like, this is a day 2 player. I mean, he was a good player. He's just, Zach Ertz is, oh my God, Darnold. Dude, Chris Shula. Chris Shula is in his effing bag in this second half. He got a free rusher and then dropped the DT right into where the offense was going. It's just insane how good Chris Shula is at this. I'm just firing off a tweet real quick. I'm gonna plug a little ad here while I'm typing. Wow. I mean, both interceptions were, of course, bad decisions, bad post-snap processing by Sam Darnold, but remarkable deception by Chris Shula right into the teeth of what the offense was trying to do. Who are the other options for your defenses, babe? You were looking at Seahawks. I can't remember what the other options were. I don't think you bench Darnold, no. I mean, no. Dude, Jalen Milroe. You think Jalen Milroe is doing any better in this game? You're nuts. I'll say that. I mean, if you want to bench Darnold because the game's over and you don't want him seeing further ghosts, if that's the argument, I guess. But no. I think both of Darnold's picks tonight. Overall, I think Darnold been fine tonight, other than the 2 picks. Obviously, you put those on it, and you'd say he's been bad tonight, which is fair. But I think the 2 picks, it's a combination of incredible defense and bad decisions. I mean, that play right there, they ended up rushing 4 players, getting an unblocked defender, and then dropping a D tackle right into where Darnold was trying to replace the blitz, and the Seahawks didn't pick it up. I mean, there's no answers on that play, especially when the unblocked defender is a D-back. Quick stop for Seattle, which is the perfect time for.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Oh, chat's going crazy. Rashid Shaheed? Okay. What a bailout for Mr. Darnold. Hey, where's Lisa B? Happy anniversary, Lisa B. There's a punt return touchdown for your... While we're here, my wife is much better than me at fantasy football. It needs to be said. Although I did win the championship in our dynasty league last year, but consistently in the 6 years since she joined our dynasty league, my wife has been better than me at fantasy football, and this year's no different. She's in the semifinal, and I'm in the lottery. See, that's where I disagree with you, Jaron, that Al Michaels needs to retire, because that's probably why half of you guys are here watching my stream tonight. Because you'd rather listen to me than Al Michaels. So Al Michaels can keep calling these games as long as he wants because it's good for me. Just like ESPN can keep employing half the people that they currently employ, most of which are former football players. It's fine by me. Good for business. And the 2-pointer. All right.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Same thing with Barstool going to Netflix. Hey, if Netflix offered me, what did they say? Did they say an 8-figure price tag for Barstool to take 3 of their podcasts to Netflix? Yeah. If Netflix offered me $10 million to abandon half of my audience, sorry guys, I'm gone. You're going to have to come watch me on Netflix or go find someone else. So I can't blame Barstool for 1 second. But hey, there's a lot of people out there that are going to be looking for new shows. Yeah, I don't know if it's a good investment by Netflix, to be honest. Because, I mean, even if half of their audience follows them to Netflix, I would say at least 20% of that crowd already have a Netflix account, probably. So that's not new business. All right, here we go. Oh, I thought the tight end corner route had a chance there, but Seattle covered it quickly. But yeah, I think they said the Barstool to Netflix thing starts in early 2026. So I'm going hard after content once we come out of the new year here. Draft season's going to go crazy this year. Okay, we got 3rd and 7, Jim. See, we got Tony Romo with us too. Who needs Jim Nantz? Okay, Seattle. This is supposed to be your bread and butter right here. Also, I'm so glad I didn't bet that under of 42.5. Yeah, this idiot over here thought it'd be a low-scoring game. LOL. Oh, delay a game? Almost. That's good defense. Stafford's rolling out, though. Oh, that's incomplete. That hit the ground. God. Stafford gave them a chance there. But yeah, you could tell. Of course the player thinks it's a catch. From the top-down angle that Prime Vision gave us, I thought it was short. Dude, I love how the player is always like, I caught it. Smart by the Rams to not listen, because he definitely trapped it. Whoa, did he just shank that? Kinda. They obviously just didn't want to give Shaheed a chance. All right. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. This would be, I want this for Sam Darnold, man. I do. After the 2 picks, I haven't been on Twitter tonight, but I'm sure he's getting flamed. So, yeah, we've been drinking German classic, Kill a Pitch. Might be time for one more shot for the home stretch here. Oh, they're going Shaheed in space. Oh, it was a good play call, but it's coming back. Dude, it's so fun to see Shaheed balling out, staying healthy. I would also like him still in New Orleans, though. But they got a bunch of picks for him. Oh. Penalties on the defense? I just assumed it was a hold. Antonio. Yeah, here we go. Oh, Michael's old. It's so good. Oh! Oh! Touchdown! We're so back, baby. The play action throwback. Dude, Clint Kubiak versus Chris Shula has absolutely delivered tonight. Both have gotten theirs against each other. This has been really fun. Huge 2-point conversion here. I mean, even if you don't get this, this is still absolutely on the table. Oh. Verse jumped it. Also, how about AJ Barner? Just breaking Cam Kinchin's ankles. Nice extension on the touchdown. Dude, AJ Barner's a dude. Is he in year 2? That's a nice contract for the Seahawks. I mean, AJ Barner, with the way the tight end market's going to develop, with the rise of 12 and 13 personnel, I mean, AJ Barner's like a $15 million a year player at this point. I know it sounds crazy, but to be an actual receiving entity with that blocking capability. Yeah, he's only in the second year. That's a great draft pick. As much as I love wait, did the Seahawks recover that? Oh my god. Oh my god, is this going to be... Also, the fact that the Seahawks player only picks it up to give it to the ref. Dude, that's... I think that's good. I think that's a 2-point conversion. Charbonnet getting a 2-point conversion just for being a good guy and picking the ball up. Dude, let's see this angle right here. Oh, I don't know if that's enough to overturn with that top-down angle there. Okay, parallel is considered backwards. That helps. I didn't realize that. And you can advance on a 2-point conversion. You can advance on a fumble. Presumably. Dude. On that second review, you can definitely tell down the line where it's released versus where it hits his helmet. And if they didn't blow the whistle, I have to hear this. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's remarkable, dude. Dude, Zach Charbonnet, just for be polite. I need to tweet that. Zach Charbonnet with an excellent lesson that it pays to be polite. They literally got it because he was being polite to the refs, picking the ball up. Oh my god. That's one of the craziest plays I've ever seen in my life. Free drinks for life for Charbonnet in Seattle. All right. Okay, I definitely need another shot of Kill a Pitch after that. What the hell? And now all of a sudden we got an MVP opportunity for Stafford here. Oh, my stream just delayed for a second there. Oh my God, what a throw! You gotta catch that. Oh, and Stafford's dragging. Oh my God. Dude. What a throw from Stafford. Under pressure. I thought that was going to get picked. But he floated it perfectly. Oh, you got to catch that. A little bit out in front, but you got to catch that, Parkinson. All right, let's see what happens here. And then I'm going to take this shot. A little tunnel screen. Puka. They're rallying. They got him. What a game. All right. Cheers, guys. To the holidays. To the new year. Well, this sounds like I'm being mean to Barstool, but to Barstool. Leaving YouTube. And to a great football game. And another one to Micah Parsons. And to the Panthers. All right, I'm gonna throw a quick ad at you guys. TFGO Overwatch after this. Tempting. Very tempting. I do want to get my Zarya on one of these days. I heard the rumor that Cooper DeJean and Nikki Bella are dating. I don't, because I don't even know who Nikki Bella is. How do my fantasy teams do this year? Not a good year for my fantasy teams. So I'm in 2 redrafts and 6 dynasties. 5 or 6 dynasties. Let's see, how many dynasty leagues am I in? I think it's 6 dynasty leagues. So I made the playoffs in 2 leagues out of 8. A lot of injuries in one of my Patreon dynasty leagues. I led the league in points for. I had an unbelievable team. It's a 14-team, 2 QB league. I have Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Pickens, Ladd McConkey. Michael Wilson was clutch at the end of the year. I had Daniel Jones in there, Kamani Vidal, Alec Pierce. Like, I had all the good stuff this year. Led the league in points for by 200 points and missed the playoffs because I led the league in points against My points against was 100 points higher than the next team down in points for. And then to make things even better in that league, we do a thing where the winner of the toilet bowl, which is the elimination bowl, or the elimination bracket, if you win the toilet bowl, you get an extra 5% chance at winning the lottery. And so the toilet bowl matters. I faced Kyle Pitts in the toilet bowl the week he put up 50 points. And I scored I think the third or fourth most points in the entire league that week and still lost in the first round of the toilet bowl. So that was great. At least the points for leader gets their money back for the year. So at least I get my money back for that league. But that one was really frustrating. But in the 2 leagues that I did make the playoffs, I'm still alive. So that's good. I had a really rough year for injuries, though. 3rd and 7, tunnel screen to JSN. Nope. Conservative call. Yeah, that's a painful 3 and out. Yeah, very conservative play calling there. Great question, Avocado. I didn't get to a podcast this week. It just wasn't in the cards with my schedule. We're leaving for Chicago for Christmas, so it's kind of a tough week and a half, kind of weird timing with Christmas is like in the middle of the week, so we're going down on like a Friday. Got a few Christmas parties, so it's just kind of a weird time. I was gonna do the Christmas gifts podcast, but I might just do it as like a New Year's gift podcast where I give every team like one. Maybe I'll do, instead of like Christmas gifts, I'll do a New Year's resolution for every team or something like that. But next week will be a podcast, a topical podcast. To be fair, there will be the week 16 preview show with Garrett. That will be per scheduled tomorrow at 2 p.m. So that's a podcast. That counts. This would be kind of anticlimactic if the Rams just chew out the clock and yeah, I like the idea of a New Year's resolution for all 32 teams. I think that works even better than a Christmas gift. Oh, deflected at the line. Huge play there by DeMarcus Lawrence. Wow. Appreciate you, John. Thanks for stopping in. All right, Seattle, 3rd and 4. What do we got? What has Mike McDonald got up his sleeve for this one? Too high. Oh, Terrence Ferguson. Oh, what a huge play. We'll see what the flag is. I think that's a play. It's going to be taunting. Basically, get the first down, but bring it all back. What was dude, the most obvious taunting call on Monday Night Football was Jordan Brooks, who wow, unnecessary roughness. For what? Defenseless player? I guess in the slow-mo from that angle, it didn't look as bad, but I could see it. Can't lead with your helmet there. That's a good route from Ferguson. Just cooked Drake Thomas. Yeah. Yeah, it's not great for Seattle. Ooh, holding though? But no, there was a taunting penalty on Jordan Brooks, which Jordan Brooks deserves his love. He's had an incredible year. I'm no longer I used to think Jordan Brooks was overrated. I certainly think he's maybe even underrated at this point. But it's developed very nicely. But he lit someone up in that Steelers game. Like classic Madden hit stick hit. And he did not care less about the taunting penalty. He was going to get his words in, and they threw the flag. Okay, first, that's a huge holding call. Dude, Puka turning into like a diva is hilarious. Like Puka's getting to be a little bit of a loudmouth. I don't know about diva necessarily. Like it's more about the personality. Maybe closer to like a George Pickens type figure as opposed to like a wide receiver that like demands the football kind of guy. I mean, Puka doesn't need to demand the ball because they feed the crap out of him, but I don't think you want to play conservative here if you're the Rams. I mean, you don't want to play for the field goal and then give the Seahawks 2 minutes. Did I like Puka coming out? I really did. I can't say I liked him as much as like, I know EJ Snyder, that was like, he was high man on Puka Nacua. I think I had a third on Puka, but the injury scared the crap out of me. Like, I loved him going into that Senior Bowl, but he was just tough because like the injuries, it felt like he was a guy that was just never going to be able to stay healthy. I'm going to pull that up. That was the 2024 draft. See what my grade was on him. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What was that? All right, 2024 draft. Let's see. Hopefully I had a pretty solid grade on Puka. Was it 2023? It had to be 2023. Yeah, okay. All right, Puka Nacua. Oh, did he? Missed it! Mevis, no! Thicker kicker! Oh, no. Okay, sadly, no, I didn't have a high enough grade on Puka. 5th to a 6th round grade. Let's see what I wrote. Puka Nacua is a perfectly balanced receiver who has a legitimate shot to emerge as a solid starter in the NFL. He has average physical tools with good quickness. Hang on, I'm going to move it over to this screen. Average physical tools with good quickness that he puts to use in his route running, release, and after the catch. He's a physical receiver as well who fights through contact in his routes and at the catch point and is willing to block. Health will be something that he needs to prove isn't a concern at the next level, as he spent the better part of it last year trying to get and stay healthy. But as long as he is healthy, Nacua does a lot of things well at the receiver position that could very well get him a starting opportunity before too long. So that's about what I thought, was that I knew I basically bailed on him. Was very interested in him heading into the Senior Bowl, and then when he wasn't able to stay healthy through the draft process, ran a 4.56. I was kind of like, I like the tape, but traits aren't insane, and injuries scare me. I do remember that, yeah, like after the fact, I definitely, like I ended up with him in a lot of leagues, and I definitely said like in my like deep dive, I definitely said like let's pull up the let's go to the 2023 Rams deep dive and just see if I had like the eyes emoji on him or something. Like I know there was definitely some positive analysis on him, but I definitely didn't think this was gonna happen. Let's see. So I did have the eye emotes on him. I had a 69 rating on him as a rookie. I'm just listening right now. Probably not the time to be doing this, but let's wait and see if we get a little stoppage in play here. Revisit that. All right, 2nd and 8. Oh, sack! My voice cracked there. Dude, Kobe Turner is kind of going off tonight. Was that on Gray Zabel again? Yeah, one-on-one on Zabel. I mean, it's a tough ask. One-on-one with the best interior rusher on the Rams. Yeah, Darnold's got to find a way to get rid of that for sure. I mean, Seattle's been playing this conservative all night long, I would imagine. Oh, man. You know what Darnold hasn't really been doing tonight is getting out of the pocket. I thought on that play, Darnold just conceded there. He had an opportunity on that play to try to create, see if, roll out. And he just Darnold just kind of folded there. This is not an ideal drop back from Darnold there for sure. All right, another opportunity for Stafford. I'm going to keep listening to my 2023 deep dive. I want to hear what I said on Puka. All right, I'm going to wait until we get a commercial break because I got the audio ready. We can listen to the audio. All right, let's focus on what really matters here. Oh, well, Stafford got rid of it at least. Showed Stafford what you got to do. Can't take the sack there. Your boy Eric, thank you for the super chat, my friend. I have picks 1, 2, and 8 in my upcoming dynasty draft. Do you think any of these QBs are worth taking, or should I load up on skill players? The chat's going nuts. I might be a tick behind here. Yep, there's Puka. Add another contested catch win to that. Everything we've said about him tonight. I think he's 3 for 3 tonight, which would put him over 80% on the season, which is just ungodly. Yeah, that's just, oh my God. He's so good. Like, what does he not do? It's insane. Blitz coming in. So, to your super chat, it's a little early for me to answer that. You know, like, I don't know where Mendoza's going to land. I haven't even finished my eval on Mendoza. I haven't watched any of the other QBs yet. Moore sounds like he's got a little more like fantasy football upside with some of the scrambling. I mean, Mendoza, I talked about it earlier in the stream, but like I've got my concerns. I've done the Penn State and Oregon games over there on Patreon and underwhelmed to say the least there. Oh, there's a good tough catch from Mumpfield. Seattle's going to have to burn their last time out there. I think that's Eman Worry is hurt. Yeah, it's hard for me to give you a good answer right now. I don't want you to make decisions based on what I'm saying right now. I'll just say I'm underwhelmed currently by Mendoza, but there's going to be obviously a lot more to watch and talk about there with him. So, and we don't even know if Moore is going to declare. Hope Eman Worry's all right. He had a great game tonight. I don't know what... I mean, he's pretty beat up about this injury. I don't really know what the injury was. The Mendoza videos are out. They're just on Patreon, my friend. There's 2 of them up. 2 full-length breakdowns of Penn State and Oregon. Otherwise, it'll be the QB rankings video in January. I think Eman Worry will be all right. It didn't look too bad. I think he's probably just emotional that he's not there. He's not going to be able to finish this game. What is going on? What is happening? Why is the clock not running? I don't... Yeah, it's tough timing gaming, Kirby. That's why I'm trying to watch guys earlier this year, and then the result of that is where's the podcast at? You know, it's like it's a lose-lose scenario. I either start watching prospects earlier, and I have to sacrifice a couple, you know, a weekly review show and a show here, a show there, or I start it too late, and the draft. The draft fans get underwhelmed by my takes, so it's tough. I appreciate you acknowledging my position. Oh, man, another drop by these tight ends. Parkinson's had a couple tonight. Yeah, Allen had one tonight. That was a big drop, too. Yeah, I like the idea of Richardson on the Vikes. Just let him and McCarthy figure it out together. if the Vikings, hold on, let's see this play. 3rd and 10, over the middle, too high. You're going to have to punt. Here we go, man. Let's go. Oh, McVay is not happy with what Stafford did there. Let's go back and look at what happened on that. Hopefully Rashid doesn't return this for a touchdown while I'm rewinding. I'm just pausing it here. He just kind of rocketed it in there ahead of Puka. He's kind of lucky that wasn't picked, to be honest. Puka kind of slowed down. There just wasn't a lot there. It's just not a good look. Stafford kind of got lucky there, though. All right. Great chance at redemption for Darnold. We'll check down. That's a good play. You don't have any timeouts, though. You got to go. You got to go. You got to go. They're going to spike it. I love the dive interception. Trying to catch the spike. Was it Jalen Carter that started that? One of these days, it's going to work. Eman Warri's going to lock. I hope it's not a collarbone for Eman Warri. Hopefully this is like the Christian Watson injury that looks worse than it is. They've got the red line at the 39-yard line. I think Jason Myers... Oh, Darnold. No, you can't take that sack. You got to know where your outlets are, man. All right, we're going to overtime, man. It's happening. Of course this game goes to overtime. I'm not complaining. Feel sorry for whoever loses this coin toss. I no longer get upset or pent up over the coin toss anymore. I think the new rules are good. I think the fact that it's a debate whether you take the ball or play defense is everything you could have asked for from a new rule. Before, all the arguments, there was always just, man, if you're in the chat and you've defended the previous overtime rules before, I'm sorry for what I'm about to say, but all these idiots coming to the rush to defend, all this overtime rule that we used to have. At the end of the day, the question was always, even if the teams like the 2019 Bears with Mitch Trubisky and elite defense, why do the teams that have a garbage offense and a great defense, why did they still choose to take the ball? I think there was only one example of a team choosing to receive in the previous rules, and it was Mike Zimmer, a defensive-minded coach, in a monsoon in like a 6-6 ball game, where he knew nobody was getting an opening drive touchdown. But the fact that it's now a debate is great. I think there's advantages both ways. It's slightly advantageous to play defense first, but you also, if it goes score, then all you need is a field goal to win. It just totally evens out. Because if you can get a stop, all you need is a field goal. But it's great. I mean, think about if this game ended. If the Rams get the ball, 4 plays later, they go score a touchdown, and the game's over. This one's been a little bit more of a wonky back and forth game. But that always pissed me off. When it was like 35-35, the defense is gassed. Like, at least here we've seen some defensive stops at the end of the game. But that always pissed me off when it was like the last 4 possessions have ended in a touchdown. We go to overtime, and then Team A gets the ball. They go score another touchdown, and then the other team just doesn't get to touch the ball because of a coin toss. I mean, just so dumb. All right, while we're waiting, here we're gonna play the audio from my my Rams deep dive. This is my Puka Nacua take. Let's see if it's in the 5th round. Really loved this pick. I was surprised they didn't go wide receiver earlier, but again, after reviewing this team, I get it a little bit more. I think they like these pieces they have here. But Puka is a very talented player who just can't stay healthy. He couldn't stay healthy in his last year at BYU and struggled to get through the pre-draft process. Only made it through about a half a day of practice at the Senior Bowl, but an excellent route runner, tracks the deep ball well. He gave me some vibes of like Romeo Doubs as a prospect. Bad comp. But again, just, nothing alike as a couldn't player. get through the pre-draft process. His 40 time, I think he ran I could be wrong about this, but I think he ran like a 4.62. He plays faster than that. So, someone that I'll take it. If he can get healthy, and it sounds like he is now healthy and making waves in training camp, definitely another player to keep an eye on here. So there's like 3 receivers that I think have upside, and with Cooper Kupp, all right, I'll take it. I could have done a lot worse. All right, let's go back to football. Of course, there's a huge return on special teams. Just keeping this thing crazy. Okay, here we go. Quick completion to you-know-who. So, who ended up winning the toss? Did the Rams win the toss and take the ball? Yeah, Tucker, it's exactly what they were. It's like if baseball played a 10th inning, but if the team in the top of the inning scored first, the game was over. Like, what are we talking about here? A nice little play-action throwback to Corum. Seahawks won the toss and chose to play defense. I don't know how many times I've seen that, where the team actually chooses to play defense. I feel like teams are still picking to take the ball. But that makes sense. Oh my God. Oh my God. Stafford, I know that you're under pressure and you just spun out of a sack, but that was WAP. That is what we call WAP in the scouting world. Wide ass open. WAOP. Oh, Josh. Oh, my God. I thought it was Josh Jobe. Then it was Julian Love. Then he had the pick. Then he dropped it. Then there's a flag. This game is crazy. Oh, dude, if that was the Josh Jobe pass interference that I predicted, that would have been insane. Wow, what a break for the Rams. Just the linebacker probably just bumped him a little bit. Oh, man. I don't like that. No, I know. WAP is something else. That's why I put the O in there. Illegal contact, sarcastaball moment. Concussion evaluation for E-Man Worry. It's not that it's a bad call. Like, by the rule, that's illegal contact, but it's just like, do we really have to call that in this moment? Like, did it really impact the play? Oh my God, another drop leads to a pick. Or did he not pick it? This game is insane. This game is too much, man. So many drops for the Rams, dude. Corum's kind of struggled with this, too. That's not a pick. That's not a pick. He used the ground to assist him in the catch there, in my opinion. Ball's still moving. Ball's still moving. Ground assists him in the catch. That's not an interception. Yep. It's coming back. Dude. What a game. I'm so happy we're live for this one, man. This has been a ton of fun. My heart's like racing, and I have no horse in this race. Or do I? Let me check my underdog lineups. No. I need 2 Jason Myers field goals, and that's not going to happen. I got my Harrison Mevis field goals. I got my Stafford passing yards. I need 5 more JSN passing yards. Receiving yards. All right. 3rd and 6. Blitz is coming. He's unblocked. Oh, and he completes it. And there's still a flag. Oh, this game has had everything right now. Oh, they were offsides. What a completion. Unblocked defender. Stafford just money. Lisa B says, me trying to figure out what's happening from the tiny bit I can see when the score bug shows Cam shows replays. Oh my God. Josh Jobe got cooked. Girl, the game is free on Twitch. I know you have a Twitch because you watch my Madden streams sometimes. All right. First down, not going anywhere. Are the Rams going for the milk the clock, kick game-winning field goal strat? That's a no. My God, Puka. They sure are not going for the milk the clock, kick game-winning field goal strat. Oh my God. Dude. I agree. Undisputed wide receiver 1, Puka Nacua. Step aside, Jamar. Yeah, just another notch on Matthew Stafford's MVP belt. Yeah, congratulations to anybody who has Puka Nacua in fantasy. I got Stafford going. What's Stafford up to? Let's see. Stafford is up to 37 fantasy points, baby. Not too bad against, well, I don't want to say anything yet. But we're taking on, I don't know if Ottanen, I don't know if you're in the chat here for our Dynasty, our Patreon Dynasty League. I was projected to lose, but now I'm projected to win. Dude, if you have the Stafford Puka stack, my God. Right on cue. The analytics called for heavy personnel, and the Seahawks do. Walker bouncing it outside. It's a nice run on first down. You dropped Stafford after week 3. This is why you play 2 QB leagues, my friend. I don't know fantasy football that isn't 2 QB leagues. It's my hard rule. Yeah, you have them. JSN, great catch. I mean, Seattle goes for Do you go for 2 or do you play for the tie? You might even be like looking ahead at the schedule. Like, who do these teams have left? I'm pulling it up. Throws it away. So the Seahawks have Carolina and San Francisco. The Rams have Atlanta and Arizona. No, you play for the win because the Rams aren't going to lose the next 2 weeks. You absolutely play for the win if you get this. A tie does you very little. Yeah, it's not about if a tie helps Seattle now. It's more about looking ahead at the next 2 weeks. But it's not very realistic to expect the Rams to lose. Oh, God, that was deflected and almost intercepted. They got the flag. Well, JSN's getting that superstar treatment. Half of getting DPI calls is just acting. Because it absolutely was, but how often do you see that go uncalled? Just a little hook of the outside arm. Every single run, Kenneth Walker just stares to the outside bounce out. So funny. Al Michaels is actively trying to ruin this classic. Yeah. Like I said, that's why you guys are here with me right now. Oh, what a throw! Are you kidding me? Yes, Darnold. Oh, hell yes. Money. Beautiful catch from Kupp. Best play from Kupp as a Seahawk. Don't score too quick, Seattle. Slow down. Seahawks are going to regret not slowing down here. How much time did they have left on the clock there? I'm going back for a second. Still had 20 seconds on that clock. I guess, yeah, they're going for 2 anyway, so it doesn't matter. You're right. I take it back. Oh, he's got the deep. Oh, man, dude, that was, for those watching the Prime Vision, that was the exact same play that Caleb Williams threw that unbelievable touchdown last week. The exact same look. And Caleb is a madman and tried to throw it, whereas Darnold took the check down. Dylan, you're going to bed? What are you doing? Charbonnet. Intercepted slant on the 1 for old time's sake. Where's Malcolm Butler when you need him? I'm just so happy we have real overtime rules, man. I'm just firing off a great tweet. I said, biggest loser tonight? Every one of you that defended the old overtime rules. All right. How many times have I said all right tonight? It's my, yeah, here we go. Step up, step up. Go, you got it, JSN. Oh, this is so good. All the marbles on the line. There's no way you kick the PAT here. Oh my gosh. Clint Kubiak, what do you have for us? Another backwards pass off the helmet of Jared Verse. Holy crap. All right, I'm not looking at the chat because the chat's like 2 seconds earlier. We're going to get a timeout. Y'all sickos said put in Milrow. Yeah, I'm glad I defended our boy Darney this time around. I can't take this anymore. The Seahawks have never played a regular game narrative lives on. Oh. Another timeout. God, this is so massive, man. To get that 1 seed is such a big deal. This is so just gut-wrenching. Do you get to pick which hash you want it on? I assumed it just went in the middle. Okay. I'm not looking at the chat. I won't do it. They got it. GG's. Oh my God. 38-37. The comeback is complete. What a game. Cinema. AJ Barner is doing a LeBron impersonation. Wow. Dude, Darnold was nails on that game-winning drive. I'm so happy for Darnold, man. I can only imagine how bad he was getting flamed on Twitter after that second pick. I didn't think the picks were egregious. I didn't. I wanted to see him get a chance to come back, and my God, did he. That throw to Cup. Oh my God, that came so close to getting batted at the line. Great patience. Wow. Emmanuel Forbes was in coverage on the play. Yeah, Dylan, you couldn't leave that. Come on, man. Now go get some sleep. What a night. What a game. What a stream. The title didn't lie. We said game of the year before it ever started, and I think that's a lock. I mean, that could have been between the Browns and the Jets, and it would have been an incredible game, but it was between the two best teams in the league. Whew. All right, you guys. Hell of a night. Ton of fun. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern for the Week 16 preview, so it's a brief departure here. Cup goes and gets his hug from Stafford.
All right. See you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Ton of fun. Cheers.